we're here to talk about this today. And this is my friend Margie, and we have known each other for almost 4 years, right? Because I
hmm
think I met you when my oldest was going into high school, and that was a very scary time for me at the time. We were in the middle of transition with some things, and I just needed some help. And Margie just kind of encouraged me with the things that I needed to hear to be like, hey, you've got this. You already know what to do. But yeah, this book came out. When was the official release? Because I bought it when it was on the pre-release. When was the actual release date for the book?
I don't remember. Probably like
I think it
July.
was,
It's
I
not.
was gonna say June or July. I bought
It
mine
got its
early.
final edit. Yeah, we had it final edit, and that's part of my story with the book. I really never thought I'd write a book. I was an accountant for most of my life, met my husband in an accounting office. I always say God's first miracle was to take two cost accountants and convince them to homeschool their children. And probably the next was convincing a very analytical accountant brain to actually write a book. I fought that idea for a lot of years, but I just probably in the fall of 2022. I just could not get out of my mind that I needed to write a book, but I didn't know how I would do it because I probably have a little bit of a ADD brain. It runs about 90 miles an hour. I
Same.
said, well, Lord, I'm going to have to just, I need to leave and go somewhere all by myself so I'm not distracted to do this. Financial and everything, it didn't look like there was any way that could happen. And I had a friend call me from Ohio and said, hey, we rented a cottage in Goodlettsville, Tennessee, which isn't far from where we live, and said, we're not going to be able to use it. Do you know anybody that could use a cottage? And I said, yes, I'm going to take that as an open door. But I still wasn't quite sure how to get started on the
Mhm.
book. And the Lord just kind of showed me what I tell parents when they have a child that's struggling writing. I'll say, have them voice text it into the computer or
Mhm.
just talk it in. And then I had a lot of recorded workshops. And so I just went to this cottage and turned my workshop on my phone, hooked up my computer to receive the voice texting into a Word document, and just let it start running and start typing it. And as I did, I realized that I was basically sharing myths and telling parents the truth. So I decided to start numbering them. So I'm going, be an accountant. I wanted to number things. So
Exactly.
I started numbering the myths. And 3 days later, I had 39 pages of typed truths and myths. And I thought, I know they're not in the right order. I know there's no way that I can get this right, but I at least have a start. I at least just done
Mhm.
that much, and I kind of came home and laid it aside. And it was probably 2 or 3 months later, I was talking to a mom very much like you that I had helped for several years, and she mentioned because she was very different mindset than her adopted son she was working with, and so she was trying to get out of the box and get past all the myths. And she mentioned that her husband was an editor, and I said, I think I need one of those. I wasn't exactly sure what an editor did, but I figured I needed somebody that knew what they were doing. And I told her about the book, and she said, I want to read it. I want to read it. Anything you're
Mhm.
writing, I want to read. So I sent her this little 39 pages, and in less than a week, she sent me back like where she had grouped the myths,
Oh,
like like
nice.
like chapters. Like she had moved the
Yes.
numbers. She just took the numbers and gave me the where the numbers ought to be. So I just
Nice.
started moving them to the right place. But when I did, I started thinking of story because it took years. I homeschooled for 30 years. I've been an
Mhm.
academic counselor for over 9 years and probably did a lot of academic counseling in the 30 years because I was writing transcripts. Oh, somewhere between 25 and 30 years ago. So I started helping
Nice.
homeschoolers with transcripts when they were still writing them on notebook paper,
Oh, wow.
and
Yeah.
because was a kind of, I did know how to run a spreadsheet and figure a GPA. So I did a lot of research on how to write transcripts. So I was really tickled. I thought, okay, so I started adding to it. And in the meantime, a friend of mine from North Carolina, we've been around. We've been a lot of states. We homeschooled in at least 6 different states. And this friend of mine her son had helped her publish a book. And I said, how did you do that? So he sent me a little template that I could use and so I took what I was fixing and just started putting it in this template. And I went, oh, that kind of looks like a book. It put like everything by pages. You could list the chapter
Yeah.
title. I'm thinking, okay. but I still knew it needed a lot of help. So it was just not much long after that. I was talking to this mom again, and she said, "How's the book coming?" Well, and I told her what I did, and she said, "Oh, let me read it. I'm a content editor. Let me content edit it." And she worked
Nice.
so hard. Uh, and she went into this. Her name is Tina Rich. I hope she doesn't mind that I'm telling her who it was, because I think she can make a career out of this. She was absolutely fabulous at helping me go through and keep my words, but saying it made more sense and complete than when you
Mhm.
public speak. And she really taught me a lot. It was really good. I got to tell you the last part of the miracle story. I started looking to figure out how to publish this book because I have no clue how to format or do any of the things. And so Tina encouraged me that if God provided me an editor, he would provide me a publisher. And so
Mhm.
I was talking to another lady that I have helped with her business over the years just because I really believe in what they offer students. And I knew the man that she worked for had published books. So I said, "How do y'all do that?" Because I don't know how to do this. And she said, "Oh, I'm a book publisher. That's what I do." And I said, "Well, how much would it cost to have you do it?" She said, "Oh, no, I'm doing it for you for free." She said, "You have helped me so much." And so she literally formatted it, took everything, got it up on Amazon, did it all for me. I mean, I really can't take a lot of credit other than the fact that it was years of experience that God sent a lot of people to help me get that book where it was. So we put it up. She got it up on Amazon, and then Tina's husband, who is a professional editor, actually
Mhm.
took an interest in it and went back and did a professional edit on it. And so it was really kind of launched twice. It's going to be that is the final version, and it was out
Yeah.
probably July before we got that final edit done. But I think I've had people read it and say they still blessed them if there was a mistake. So there's a stage. I've learned a lot through the process, but the whole purpose of it was to be able to equip more parents to walk in the truth. The
Mhm.
Bible says the truth sets you free. And I've really watched it. And part of the reason the front of the book, show them the front of the book again. Look at the bird cage. So that was a big it's got yeah, and that I loved that because I literally will talk on the phone with parents and I could hear the chains falling off, the chains
Mhm.
of defeat, the chains of stuff. And I would get up and walk in the kitchen, look at my husband and say, "Oh my gosh, it's like I've got spiritual chain cutters with the truth." And so
Yeah.
when I saw that picture, I'd feel like I just want to set families free. And that's
Mhm.
kind of where we came up set free to homeschool was because we wanted to see parents just be free to enjoy this journey. There was a lot of ways I was in captivity by the myths that I believed. And so this gives me an opportunity to let people be set free and enjoy the journey. So I hope today that a lot of you guys will look out there and check it out on Amazon because not because I wrote it, but because I know what it can do to help families. And you might not agree with everything, but there's a lot in there that you're going to make you go,
Oh, there's
huh?
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, because we ended up with over 60 some myths that, I
Mhm.
tell parents, you don't know what you don't know. We've been so indoctrinated to believe these myths that we don't even realize it. And so a lot of times parents will read that and say, oh, yeah, there you go. So that's the book. That's what we did. Now we did develop into a YouTube channel, and that's how I got to know Alicia's because she was kind of answer to my prayer too. Because when I was getting ready to write the book, um, I said, "Man, I can't believe I'm writing a book because I'm such an audiovisual learner myself." And the editor came up with the idea of maybe putting QR codes in the book to refer it
Yeah.
to a YouTube channel. And so he showed me how to do QR codes, but I thought, well, I need a YouTube channel, but I have no idea.
Yes,
So
there's pages of QR codes in the back.
yeah, and so then I decided to QR code all the different curriculums I tell you about and stuff to try to make it
Mhm.
easy for you. I just try to make things easy, but I was praying as the Lord, I think I need a YouTube channel. Uh, but I have no idea how to do that. And Alicia reached out to me to help her with the kids one day, and she mentioned that she had a YouTube channel. I said, "Can you help me?" And in no time, she had me set up. with a YouTube channel helping me start that. So I don't have a lot on it right now. We do have one. It's called Set Free to Homeschool. It's not traditional school. I'm in the process of
Mhm.
redoing all the recordings I had before to put them on this channel. And but the one for high school should be out this week. So hopefully you guys can go to that, because I high school is the scariest time to homeschool. So I really am looking forward to parents getting to watch that and get even more details than I went into in the book. And on the book gives a lot of things too. So either way, I think it'll give you a lot of freedom.
Yeah, I can see the first video that we watched, the other, it's not the same as traditional school. I love that video. It was very, very detailed, and I'm looking forward to the high school one again. I've seen the sneak preview of it, so I'm really looking forward to it, because that high school is, I agree, high school is the scary time. Everybody's like, oh, I'm scared to teach my kids to read. I'm scared to do the math. I'm like, high school, it's a whole nother beast all on its own, because there's so many moving parts. It's not that the classes themselves, like, have to be hard. It kind of feels like that scary of, am I going to get everything they need to complete on time? I think was kind of where we were with the high school path. And then, like, I have two that are dyslexic. I have two that are advanced placement. One of the advanced placements on a 3-year graduation path. So yeah, I agree. High schools can be rough. It's fun, but it can be really scary at the same time.
Absolutely. It can be definitely simplified down, and that's what I really try to do for families. So I really appreciate you allowing me, to share about that. And then I guess the other big adventure God has taken us on this year is that I work together with some other ladies under an umbrella school, and we have come apart from that, and we have developed the homeschool counseling team. It's
Mm-hmm.
www.homeschoolcounselingteam.com. Between the three counselors, and then we have another lady that is actually a homeschool admissions counselor at a college. The three of us have over 150 years of experience in the homeschool arena, and we each kind of carry real strong strengths, like our college admission person. She's like the scholarship guru of all the things to help your kid not to owe a lot of money if they decide to take the college route. And Marta, and that's Pat Wasowski, and then Marta Weaver is really great with kids that are maybe on a non-traditional path, that they are going to go into the careers or military or
Mm-hmm.
anything like that, that are just going to do the non-traditional thing. She is just really great at out of the box helping you use everything that they're doing to get those high school requirements with a lot of heart and a lot of compassion. She's a wonderful lady and very understanding, and too with kids that are struggling, or just there's just that gifting there. And then Lonnie Carey actually has been in the homeschool movement for years, and a lot of people don't know about her, but she actually was just a groundbreaker for getting homeschoolers into the military academies, the NCAA. She's incredible with sports and all those kind of things where you might not know how to navigate sports no matter where you are in the United States. She is probably the one that helped you do that. She also has a big heart for military and missionaries, and us being able to give the support they need when they may be in other parts of the world or somewhere that they
Exactly.
don't have that support. Um, so we hope that God's gonna spread this word that we can be here to help and use what we have. Um, I feel like my strength is I just love helping people enjoy homeschooling. That
Mm-hmm.
transition to high school definitely is something that I love, but I also love helping parents find their kids' strengths, even if there's struggles and challenges in their learning. And so I've got resources and people that I work with that are able that I can refer you to help you get some things you need. I don't know it all, but I will find somebody to help you the best of my ability. And so I hope you'll check out the homeschool counseling team. Like I said, it's homeschoolcounselingteam.com, and we're going to charge $60 a year for the whole family just to help you as much as you need, and so that we can keep sharing what we've got to share with families. So those are our big adventures this year. oh, I guess I could also say that we speak at conferences. So if you're having an event in your area or you're going to a conference somewhere, I've spoken at TTD. I do a lot of local area stuff and do travel some to get to speak, but all the ladies can speak. It's wherever on whatever topic. So it's good.
I actually have met Pat in person before. She actually came and spoke at a church and was helping homeschool families realize it's not super scary for homeschool families to transition to college whenever their kids are ready to transition to college. And like you said, the non-traditional path, I actually have one that answers in Genesis, which is one of our channel's actual sponsors. Like, we work with them to help families save money on if they want to buy any of the Answers in Genesis curriculum, which you can buy the 101 series through Answers in Genesis.
That's where I found it.
Yep.
Originally was in the Creation Museum. Yep.
So it's a really cool partnership. But we found out through the whole process that I have one that she just doesn't think she would do well in college, and she works better on a one-on-one scale, but she really wanted to work with animals. But another thing Answers in Genesis has recently switched to is there's not that many colleges offering like zoology that teach creation. So now, if you work in an animal shelter for a year, and you meet all of their creation requirements and church requirements, you can go and work at the Answers in Genesis Ark and work with small mammals, and you don't have to have that degree. So it's another way of like looking at a non-traditional school path. So yeah, I'm loving to look at some of the different paths, because my husband and I both kind of agree, like, college isn't really for everyone. And it's kind of cool to also still custom a high school homeschool experience where they can still transition to that fairly easily. And I love that, like, now we can kind of like build and piece things together as we go to meet their individual needs.
We call it a roadmap
Yes.
in our homeschool counseling team because kids need to take different roads. They're all going to be on different journey. We had 6 children and none of them seemed to be alike at all. And we were just like,
Right.
okay, how did 2 people have such very different children? And then one of our sons told me one day, he said, "Oh, we have at least one thing in common." I said, well, other than parents that are the same 2 parents, what what do you have in common? Because you got to have a sense of humor if you have a bunch of kids. And he said we're all learning junkies, and I realized that that really is something we encouraged in our children was to love to learn and to become excited about learning no matter what that was. And if we're always trying to put them on a road that they aren't made for, that's not the direction they need to go, then we're going to have a tendency to just crush that love for learning.
Hmm.
But if they go down a road like you were telling about your daughter, just going down the loving animal roads, then there's all
Hmm.
these occupations off those roads, all those opportunities, and they'll get a great education. They just don't need to be on the same path as everybody else. And it is a beautiful
Exactly.
thing to get to do that. So, I'm so glad we got to talk today. This was really a lot of fun,
Oh
and maybe
yeah.
we'll have to do it again. All right.
Yes.